2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Purlwise Podcast, knitting all day, let's look at it together. Purlwise Podcast, stitch by stitch, we can make whatever. Stitch by stitch, it's made by your friend Claire.
Hello, I'm back. Did you miss me? It's been a while again, and I'm sorry, but I just truly didn't have that much to talk about, and didn't have the energy. So I hope you'll forgive me. I'm excited to show you the few things I do have. And yeah. If you're new here, my name is Claire. This is Purlwise, where I talk about my knitting, sometimes my sewing. Oh, I should have brought, I'll grab it later. No, I'll grab it now. Okay, I'm back. Forgot something that I wanted to show you. Yeah, so what else can I say? My name is Claire. I live in Montreal. I hope you, every time it's a new view, I wish I had like one set filming spot, but that's another thing that's kept me from recording, is that the light hasn't been great, or it's been hard to like catch the light at the right time. So today I told myself I'd do this first thing in the morning. It's 11:30. That's kind of first thing in the morning for me. I guess I can start with what I'm wearing, which if you've been around, you've probably seen a few times. I just felt like it was the most festive. I'm feeling pretty excited about the holidays. So this is the most maybe festive sweater I own. And it's my great gingham raglan, which is a pattern by Jessie Made. And I knit this in Peace Fleece Sport / DK is I think what it was called. The colorway I believe was called Sokolin Salmon. And the white contrast, like variegated. Oh yeah, you can see there. It's a hand-dyed yarn by La Pastel Club, who's a dyer here in Montreal. And it's her neon line. And the color was called Phosphore. And I really love this yarn. It's held up super well. I just pulled like one pill out of the armpit. I've worn this a lot. Yeah, I just pulled like that, you know, when you get one big pill in the armpit. I pulled that out earlier, but otherwise it's like doing really well. So yeah, there's a few pills here and there, but I wore it a lot last year. Kind of in a pants crisis, you know, right? That's something that happens to people, pants crisis. So I haven't worn it a ton this winter, but hopefully we can solve the pants crisis. I feel like this is why I've been a bit like not that excited about my knitting, and I think it's because I was talking about this with some friends last night, and I think it's partly because of the pants crisis. Like, I just don't have any pants that I like, and it makes it hard to like imagine outfits and like decide what I want to knit, because I can't picture what I'd wear it with. And we were discussing last night with Izzo and Kay, who I always talk about, and I think there's a pants pattern that I'm gonna try hopefully in January. And yeah, hopefully that will solve the crisis. And then I'll be excited about knitting again. We'll see. I think, yeah, I'm just like really sick of all of my clothes. And I'm not sick of my hand knits, but mostly what I've knit is like cropped things. And I think maybe it's time, and I feel like I've heard other people say this, but I'm just ready for some longer sweaters, I think. So maybe that will dictate what I cast on next. But we'll see. Maybe I'll talk about some future plans, depending how long we go today. So I only have one knitted finished object. And it's something you haven't seen, so that's kind of exciting. And it's a hat. So, this, I'm sure I've talked about wanting to knit a hat with this combination. I meant to look up one of the yarn names, but maybe it'll come to me. So this is some leftover. I had bought, I think, 3 or 4 skeins. Oh gosh, now I can't remember. Anyways, it's Woolly Mammoth sock, Woolly Mammoth natural sock, and I believe the colorway was called Daffodil, and I had used that to knit the Dawa Slipover by Yamagara, which I feel like you can see in sort of episodes from the spring, maybe? Last fall. I made it last fall. And yeah, I'd always wanted to knit a hat with what I had left, because I had quite a bit. And I really couldn't decide on a pattern, because I kind of wanted something with an interesting crown. And so I just sort of didn't cast anything on. I'll put it on for you. Yeah, and then I saw the Tromso hat pattern by Joji Locatelli that came out, I feel like, a couple months ago. It was a fall pattern, and I really liked this like folded. Yeah, it just felt like it was an interesting crown situation, and I was excited to try something new. So this often happens where I like look at a pattern and I'm like, I'm pretty sure I could figure this out on my own, but then I'm like thinking about it and I'm like, what if I'm wrong? What if the way that I think that it would be done isn't the way that it's actually done? And sometimes I just don't want to mess with it and like make myself stressed out. So I bought the pattern, and the crown shaping is done exactly how I thought it was, but whatever. It's a nice pattern. I'm happy to support people, but it's written for, I believe, a bulky weight yarn, and she does mention in the pattern that you can use whatever weight and then use this like crown shaping. So what I did was I took the numbers from the Purl Soho classic ribbed hat, because I was using the Woolly Mammoth and a fuzzy mohair held together, and now I can't remember what that mohair was called. And it wasn't just mohair. I'm really blanking. I'll put it here. But it's a blend of, it's not just mohair, it's silk, mohair, and baby alpaca. And I had bought it, if you were around a couple years ago. Have I been doing this for almost 2 years now? That's crazy. I'd made a hat for my sister. Or was that pre-podcast? Anyways, I'd made a hat for my sister with this yellow. And I had some left over, but then I had to buy more. Anyway, so now I have more left over, but I feel like I'm not being very straightforward today. But yeah, so Woolly Mammoth natural sock in Daffodil, and that mohair silk alpaca blend that I have put the name of here. I followed the numbers from the classic ribbed hat. I think I knitted on a 2.75 millimeter needle. And yeah, it's got a triple, I guess, folded brim. And I felt like this shaping for the crown was really good because you truly don't, like you can truly knit until you're out of yarn, and then like you could make the brim like as thick as you want. I do think it would have been nicer with an even thicker brim, but I kind of got impatient. I think it's nice how it is, but like if it was, I think that would be nice too, you know? I kind of want to knit another one already. I really liked it. But yeah, the way this is constructed, you don't even need to like try and calculate to save for like decreases. So that's really nice. So I recommend. Oh, my head is hot now. Yeah, so that's my only knitted finished object. And I've truly worn it a lot already. It's like a bit stretched out, but I feel like I'm kind of over, I mean, I always say that, but I'm sure someday I'll want to knit an all stockinette hat again, but I just feel like ribbed is the way to go. There's just less margin for error in knitting and in wearing. So yeah, it's been perfect hat so far. I do like to make a new hat every winter. And she had suggested in the pattern that you kind of like tack the corners down, but I didn't do that. And I kind of didn't understand the instruction, like where, I don't know. So I didn't do that step, but I think it looks good. Anyways, so that's my little yellow hat. Only knitted finished object. Sorry. I wish I had more. I truly do. But another finished thing that I have is a sewn thing. I've been sewing a fair bit, but I am not feeling great about anything these days. I mean, not anything, like sewn and knitted things especially. So I've made a few things, but I'm like not happy with them. I'm working right now. Some people might have seen on my Instagram, I shared in my stories a while back that I was working on the winter coat that I'd talked about. And I thought about sharing that today, but it's not finished. It's kind of in a weird, like at a weird stage. And something about showing sewn things in process like feels a little more vulnerable. I don't know if anybody can relate to that, but especially because I'm like altering this pattern and adding a lining and things like that. It's just kind of like, I kind of also just don't want to look at it right now. I really want to finish it. I mean, it's right there and I am looking at it, but I'm not happy about it. Yeah. We'll see. I'm probably just being too particular. I wanted to finish it before holidays. I'm going to Ottawa for Christmas in about a week now. And I have so much to do, but that is one of the things I wanted to finish. So whatever. But I want to show you this finished thing. All that to say, oh, it looks so good on camera. I finally made some throw pillows for my couch. So I just had this fabric. I had bought this ages ago. I think I wanted to make like overalls out of it, but it's really not like appropriate for a garment. It's more of an upholstery fabric. And I made two of them. I actually made three, but I gave one to a friend. I don't know how to. I've loved these like shell pillows for so long. And my sister had bought one online and I kept being like, oh, I should just buy pillows. Like, I just wasn't making them, you know, when you're like, I can make that for myself, but then you just don't do it. That's what was happening. But I can't remember what made me finally give in. Probably I was feeling frustrated at my garment projects. My foot is asleep. I'm on the floor here in front of the window for the light because otherwise it's too dark. So yeah, it didn't take long in the end. Oh, that was the other thing. I had a polyfill left over from a quilt that I made for my sister, which I don't think I showed here. But I have a picture of it. Put it right here. So Mary, my sister, had sent me a TikTok of this quilt. It was like from a Vancouver fabric store, and they were making kits for this quilt, which is the art gallery. It's by Art Gallery Fabrics. It's the something puff quilt. Oh, sorry, I'll put glow quilt, glow puff quilt, something like that. Anyways, put the name here. So sneaky, this is a sneaky finished object that I don't have. I did want to record and show you that, but it just didn't work out timing wise. But this is a quilt where you, I mean, maybe you've heard of puff quilts. It's like a quilt that you make. I mean, I think the original puff quilt is like you make these little puffed sections. They're kind of like little square puffy sections, and you stuff them as you go or something. This one you just sort of sew together these long strips, and then you fill all the channels that you've created by sewing the strips. You sew all the strips together, so you have the quilt top. You sew the quilt top to a backing, which I used a yellow flannel. I didn't use the Art Gallery flannel. I went for something a bit more economical. And then sewing that top to the backing makes these channels, and you stuff them full of polyfill, and then you bind the quilt. So I had bought a lot of polyfill for that, and then didn't use it all. It was hard to gauge how much I would need. It didn't really say in the pattern. And that was actually maybe the hardest part of making the quilt. Was I stuffed it and then was like, it's too dense. It was like too stiff. So I unstuffed it and like redistributed the polyfill in all of these little channels. Anyways, so that was a bit of a pain, but I had polyfill left and it was just hanging around, and I was like, I should really make these pillows. So I made one for my friend on her birthday, and that went well. And so I cut out 2 more, and I just made the pattern myself. There is like some tutorials about how to make a shell pillow online. Maybe I'll link down below what I used, but I drew out the shell myself, and I'm pretty happy with the shape that I got. I first drew it like small to make sure I liked the proportions, and then I like did the math and blew it up. The one thing I wish is that I'd made this center section a little less tall, because I feel like it's just a bit too tall, you know, on both of them. So, but it's really fine. So yeah, I just drew out the pattern myself, and then there was a bit of trial and error, but to get like the sewing these channels right. But yeah, I make pillows, and I'm really happy with them. And that's that. So I'm happy to show you these, and they go on my couch, one on each side. I had this vision. I wanted to make these like, I kept seeing online these like cracker pillows. They looked like cookies or crackers, and I wanted to make those, but they seemed a little more complicated. So I'm happy with the shell. I think it's a good size. I really like, when I'm knitting, I really like prop myself up with a lot of pillows and stuff. So it feels like a big quality of life enhancement to have some pillows. Because before I would go to my bedroom and get my bed pillows and bring them onto the couch, and it was just not ideal. So yeah, and I think the color's nice. So that was my second finished object that I feel like sharing. Why am I the way I am? What else do I have? I mean, truly, I do have a couple other finished objects, but they're gifts. I did do some gift knitting this year, and I thought about sharing them and like telling the people who are receiving them, just don't watch the video, but I don't know. I just want to save them, and I think I'll do a separate little gift knit video, hopefully. Don't hold me to it, but this is my plan. Do a little gift knit video that I could release around Christmas for you guys. So I'm hoping that'll happen. We'll see. So yeah, there are more things, but I can't show you. Or I choose not to show you. But I guess I can move on to some of my whips. So, I don't know. There's not much to show of this, but okay. So this is my Wool and Honey by Andrea Mowry. I don't think I'd split for sleeves last time I showed it, but now I have. And I got to the point of splitting for sleeves. And then I did this much of the body, even less. And then I was like, this is going to take forever. And I put it away and didn't really touch it. I got it out last night because it was a good mindless knitting for hanging out with friends. Oops. But yeah, there's not much to say about this. If you want to know more, you can watch my last video where I explained how I've converted it to knitting back and forth instead of knitting in the round. So it's all bunched up. There's not much to see, but yeah, that's where I'm at with that. I have maybe 3/4 of an inch of the body. So maybe I'll take this home with me for the holidays. I feel like it's good sitting around knitting. Yeah, I'm knitting it in Brooklyn Tweed, Loft, in the colorway Caraway. Yep, I do still love the color. I think also I'm not that motivated because it's going to be another cropped sweater. I thought about making it longer. I don't know if I have the yardage to make it like a full-length sweater, but I also don't think that I would want it to be a full-length sweater just because of the nature of the fabric. Like, you can see it's not at all drapey, and so I think that would lend itself more to like a little sort of cropped sweater that sits over dresses. Not that I always say that, but I don't really have any good dresses that I like to wear with cropped sweaters at the moment. That's another problem that I'm having. I just don't know. I don't have good like nylons or tights to wear with dresses in the winter. So that's another wardrobe issue that I'm having. I have ordered some wool, like merino wool tights from Snag. I've only ever bought their like little shorts, like that I wear in the summer under dresses, and I really like those. I like the fit of them. So we'll see. It was kind of a gamble because it was a bit expensive. I bought 3 pairs of their wool tights, so we'll see if that solves any of my wardrobe issues. But God, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I think this is gonna be another cropped sweater. So yeah, hopefully I can put some inches into it. Kay was saying last night that it's like a half and half wrap, which is very true. And I was wearing my half and half the other day, and I was like, oh, I wanted another one of these, but maybe I should put that energy into this instead. What happened here? Yeah, and I will do that because it's really lovely. I think it'll be a nice sweater when it's done. maybe with these imaginary pants that might materialize someday. Yeah, so not too much to say about that. Just a little update. What else? My next thing that it's a bit of a larger update is my nostalgic sweater coat, but again, this I haven't touched in a while. It was kind of nice to have like some smaller gift knit projects to work on because I wasn't feeling that motivated about sweaters, but again, this is gonna be hard to show you. But look at how much body there is now. I did work on this quite a bit for a while. And I'm almost, I think I have a few more rows of body before I start the ribbing. What? So you can see, I mean, I'll just put it against my body. I'm wearing sweatpants, sorry. Is this helping? Oh, why is everything difficult? Yeah, so I think I'm at about, I can't remember, like 16 inches or something, which feels like a big accomplishment. And yeah, I think I just have a couple more rows to go, and then I start doing 5 inches of 2x2 rib again. So yeah, but I was working on this a lot, and then I lost motivation because I was like, I won't be able to wear it till the spring anyways. And I just felt like not that excited about working on something that, taking off my slippers, that I wasn't going to be able to wear for a while. So yeah. And this is, I'm knitting it out of Nutiden. It's the colorways, I can't remember. I'll put them down below, but I'm marling like this silvery brown with a tealy green. I think that's a pretty accurate color. I can't see, I'm covering up my screen, so I can't see how much you can see this. Yeah, that's pretty accurate to what it is. So I think it will be a really nice coat when it's done. And sorry, I didn't say this is a pattern by Ailbiona McLochlainn. So yeah, 5 inches of hem ribbing. I'm doing the A-line version. So these are, if you can see these stitch markers, those are all my increases. So it has a bit of A-line shaping. I'm doing a mid-length, and yeah, I've tried it on a couple times, and I think the length will be good. I'm just following the length in the pattern, but I'll keep trying it on as I go. I find Nutiden grows a little bit vertically when blocked. I always account for 1.5 inches of growth, so I'm keeping that in mind too. And yeah, I am thinking about buttons. I feel like leather buttons, you know, the leather sort of crisscross buttons. Put a picture here of what I'm thinking of might be the thing. I feel like a shank button would be a little more coat-like than a button with holes, a hold button. So that's kind of what I'm thinking, because I do want it to be sort of more of a coat. I think it will read coat more than cardigan, but I especially want that to reflect in the buttons. So that's what I'm thinking, those leather buttons. And I have been looking, and I haven't found, I think the thing with that style of leather button is that they're often mostly what I found was faux versions, and I kind of do want something that's natural material and nice. So I'm open to other things, but I guess I'll just keep an eye out. Gotta go back to the button store. There's a really good button store on Saint-Hubert Street here in Montreal. If you're ever in town, let me know and I'll give you the name of the button store. I could just give it to you now. I think it's called Matar Textiles. Matar. That's my favorite button store. They just have like boxes and boxes. I think I might have a picture. Maybe I don't. But just boxes and boxes of buttons. And it's pretty fun to look. I went there the other day and the woman was super nice and she gave me extra buttons. What was I? I don't even remember why I was buying buttons. Yeah, so that's this. The update on that. And yeah, I've just been pre-winding my Nutiden into balls. And I don't think I'm gonna use all of what I have. Like, I think I had 600 grams of the silvery brown, which was either Medvind or they made two similar ones and I got 300 grams of each, I think, in two separate updates. And then I think I had 600 grams of the green that I always blank on the name of. So I think I'll have extras, which is kind of, I guess it's good. It's just good to have. Yeah, so that's the update on that. So I don't know. It's nice to just have this out and pick away at it a little bit, but I kind of want to maybe store it away till like March, just to keep it safe. Maybe I'll put it in a plastic bag and hide it away from any bugs. I've been keeping it in this crocheted bag that I made a couple years ago, just out of like old stash of something I bought at Michael's as a teenager. Yeah, so I should probably put this away if I'm not going to touch it. I'm just very conscious of moths and stuff. You know, I've talked about it before. My last thing that I have is something that's going to get ripped back. But I thought I would show it to you. It's this, isn't it beautiful? Oh, I put all my ball bands somewhere and I can't remember. So I had bought this yarn at Twist. It's from Les Moutons de Richard. Is that what it was? It's like a 50% wool, 50% mohair blend. And I picked this skein because it looked kind of marled. And I thought that was really pretty. And when I picked it, a woman said, "You got the nicest one." And that was sweet. Yeah, I got one single skein, which is, I think it was 140 gram skein or something. It was a lot. And I think it's about an Aran. I think it's an Aran weight. I talked about this in my Twist video that I wanted to make one of those like keyhole scarves. And so I cast this on the other day. I did all of this in one day, but it was like a day where I didn't do anything else. And I can't remember I'll link the two patterns that I looked at down below. But this was the idea, one of these scarves. But I couldn't follow those patterns that I was looking at exactly because of the weight of yarn and the gauge. So it should have like another petal here. Okay, and this is the thing, is that it's so tight. I might have enough to finish this petal, but I wasn't sure. I'm just calling them petals, I don't know why. But you know the style of scarf I mean. And it would have another boop. I have to take it off, it's so tight. Okay, so this is the thing, is that I adapted the numbers for a thicker yarn. And I think what I'm going to do is rip it back and make it even narrower so that I can make it a bit longer. I do know it'll stretch, but even stretched, I'm like, I don't know, maybe I should steam block it and see, because I just can't wear it that tight. Like, I will probably yell at someone if I'm wearing a scarf that's that tight. So it's just a pretty simple, easy pattern. I didn't even do anything to like neaten up the garter edges. I don't mind the look of like just a regular garter edge. Maybe you can see better if I go like this. Yes. I just have this marker to show me what the right side is. So yeah, I just wanted to show you that. I think it will get ripped out. So it has this little section where you split the stitches in half. The two patterns are free that I found. So you split the stitches in half, and then you're able to stick the other end through the hole. And the pattern I looked at, you did it on both, so you could conceivably put either end through each other. And yeah, it's a bit rough for a scarf, maybe. I think I'll be okay, but I don't know that I would gift it to anybody. It is going to be for me. But yeah, I think that I ended up, like, this was like 34 stitches across or something like that I ended up doing, or 30? Hello. What happened? Okay, well, sorry that this looks like this. Something went wrong. Something wrong with my phone. So I'm just blurry. And I think what I was saying was that I'm gonna rip this back and make it narrower. I'm so mad at my phone right now. So hopefully you'll see that in the future. So that was my Mouton de Richard little scarf. And I've been trying to fix this for like half an hour. And I'm really sorry. What if we go... Oh, surprise. Should we just do it wide angle? Because then you can see this. You can see the microphone. Sorry, but this is a bit better. This was the last thing I wanted to talk about. Welcome to my apartment. More of my apartment. I bought a spinning wheel. And have I spun anything? No. I have been on the lookout for like a used wheel because I knew that I wanted one. I just really wanted to spin, and I've been finding drop spindling to be difficult because it's so slow. But wheel spinning, as it turns out, is quite difficult too. There's definitely like a learning curve, and I just haven't had the time to spend with it. And I wish that I could show you this beautiful wheel with in focus, but I guess that's not in the cards today. But yeah, so I found this. I was in Ottawa, and I found it on Facebook Marketplace from a really nice woman. And it's a Louet wheel from the 80s. You know, when you like really want something and you know you're just gonna cave and spend like $1,000 on it, that's what I was feeling about spinning wheels. So when I saw this, I was like, I don't know that much about it, but it might be a good place to start. And it's not gonna be $1,000. I paid $400 for it. So I'm sorry you can't really see it very well, but oh, there in the light, that's better. Yeah, I think it's really beautiful. It's just nice right now to have it in my apartment. I don't know the model number or anything. I don't think the woman knew, or maybe there wasn't a model number at the time. But yeah, I'm just happy to have something that has been pre-loved. And she said she got the drive band replaced not that long ago, so that's good. She also gave me some books for free with it, which was really nice. So I've been reading those, which is how I know that it's a bobbin lead wheel, which means the drive band spins the bobbin directly, as you can see. And it's a single treadle. And yeah, apparently good for learning on. So that'll be, it's funny, you can see it in the mirror too. I'm excited to finally have the chance, hopefully soon, to sit down and do a bit of spinning. You can see I've done like the tiniest little bit, but it is, I was getting frustrated, and I was in a place emotionally where I didn't want to do something that frustrated me. So, yeah, I haven't played around with it in a while, but I'm excited to do so. I think it will be a fun thing for the darkest, scariest part of winter. Yeah, so not much to report on that, but it's here. Maybe I had posted a picture on Instagram when I got it, so maybe you saw that. And I just had one tiny acquisition, which I keep trying to get the focus back, but I don't know. There's something wrong. I restarted my phone. Anyways, we're just here now. It's not perfect. This is life. But I was looking for some like nice spinning fiber. And I came across, somebody was talking about this. Maybe it was Bee from the Maker Bee podcast. I believe it was Bee. Talked about buying some fiber from Crux Fibers. And I went and looked, and there was still some in their shop. So I went ahead and ordered, I got 100 grams of this fiber. And it's a little bit flattened because it came vacuum sealed, which I love. But yeah, it's a special, I think the woman who runs Crux Fibers got this fiber from a Dorset sheep called Machine Gun. That's his name, and dyed it up and sold it in these little 25-gram bats. So I got 100 grams. I wish I could show it to you under better conditions because it's very beautiful, but if only. I guess I could put a picture, maybe. I don't know if my phone is going to misbehave later, but yeah. So I'm excited to get to a place where I could spin this. I've been practicing with some plain plain white Corriedale that I have, but maybe I just need to go for it and try something in a fun color. I feel like this isn't doing them justice, so I'm sorry about that, but something's wrong. Anyways, I hope this wasn't too painful to watch and that you enjoyed. I've been trying to think what to name my wheel. I kind of want to name it Anne because that's the name of the woman who sold it to me, who'd owned it since the 80s. Anne is the only name I have in mind right now, but if you have a name idea, let me know. Yeah. So sorry to end this on a blurry note, but I hope you're doing well. I've been really enjoying watching people's Vlogmas videos. My favorites that I'm following pretty religiously are Mackenzie's, M to the Thirds, Jessica Faith Cooper on YouTube, who I've recommended, I feel like, a few times. I'm really enjoying Laura Penrose's vlogs. Hers are so detailed and long. And another one that a podcast I've been meaning to recommend, and she's doing like sort of weekly Vlogmas videos, is Sarah Seams. And I'll link her down below. But yeah, she's putting out some nice Vlogmas content. She's doing this Quiltmas, like Advent quilt-along thing, which is like a 12-day quilt block Advent that's free, and you end up making like a sampler quilt of like festive blocks. And I got like that ambitious feeling where I'm like, oh, I want to do that too. And then I looked at it and I was like, this is probably beyond my quilting skill and would take me all year, not all month. So yeah, nice to follow vicariously through Sarah's quilting journey. I do think I would like to someday make a holiday quilt, but it seems like a lot of work for something that I wouldn't use year round, you know? So tricky, but yeah. So those are the ones, I think those are the ones, all the ones that I wanted to recommend. Yeah, it's a fun time for videos, so thank you if there's a lot of like content out there, so thank you if you stuck around to watch me and my blurry video. Maybe it's nice to see more of my apartment. This is like the entryway. This is the front door, which I'm always kind of worried that my neighbors can hear me in the stairwell, but we'll just hope not, you know? Yeah, so I hope you like this little episode. I will hopefully be back with that little gift knits video soon for you. Hopefully, like for Christmas, a little Christmas treat. That's the idea at the moment. But yeah, so hopefully in January there might be some spinning to share. I hope. I feel scared. It's hard to go back to being bad at something, you know? I mean, probably not everybody has that problem, but I certainly do. And I know some of you must also feel that way. I love to be good at things, so. But I think it is very good for your brain to do things you're bad at and learn something new. And now I'm rambling. And I don't think there was anything else I was going to talk about, but hopefully we fix this issue for next time. Terrible. All right. Well, happy holidays if I don't see you. And yeah, leave me a comment down below. Tell me what you're working on. Are you doing gift knits? I try to limit my gift knitting, but I'm happy with the amount that I'm doing this year. So, and it'll be just enough to make a nice little video out of. So yeah. Oh, sorry. I did also open the window. I hope that that sound isn't too bad. Something always has to go wrong, doesn't it? Anyways, have a good day. Happy knitting, happy holidays, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Is it Vlogmas? Okay, Vlogmas. Vlogmas.
Texting in here to say I got caught in a mosh pit. Here we go. Artists like they're not that master.
This is for your vlog? For Vlogmas?
Yeah.